The investigation at the blast site has started in earnest 3 days after the explosion. The cordoned-off area near where the ammonium nitrate was stored is being scoured for clues or evidence left behind in this field of debris. Among the investigators, bomb disposal specialists, experienced in identifying and dealing with explosives. The harbour is also being searched, with teams of divers kitted out in scuba diving equipment making repeated trips. The Lebanese government has given an investigative committee 4 days to determine responsibility for this tragedy. But amidst the investigation, there's also an increasingly desperate search for survivors. They've already located what appears to be the start of an underground network of panic rooms built beneath the giant silo stores. Now they're trying to shift the piles of rubble and spilt grain laying on top so they can investigate. They know that there's a labyrinth of subterranean chambers here. They've discovered the opening of just one of them. And if you come a bit closer, you can see the top of what looks like the ceiling of one. And that's what is keeping the hopes of relatives alive, that somehow their loved ones have made it to that shelter. A Turkish group with experience in rescuing people after earthquakes isn't giving up yet.
We encountered like these situations before.
When you've actually pulled people out?
Absolutely.
After this length of time?
Yes.
Yeah. So you're still holding on to hope?
Every time, yeah. Search and rescue is every time has hopes. Human life is very important. Human life is over everything. Therefore, every time we have hopes.
But it's an agonizing wait for the relatives of those still missing, who don't know whether they're alive or dead. Ghassan Azruti is head of the operations room for the port silos. His wife and youngest daughter are keen to show us photos of him. He told them never to worry about his safety at the port.
When the civil war was happening, they used to go there, and when there was explosions, blasts and everything, they would hide down there. So she thinks he knows how to handle this.
But his family and friends are furious at the lack of government action on all fronts.
40 hours, it has been 40 hours before the equipment and the machinery went to the site where is my father.
So we have hopes. We still have hopes, even though it's getting diminished by every second that they are late. And they are already 40 hours late.
They have no faith in the promises of a government inquiry, and they're determined someone is held to account for this.
I'm gonna translate this anger into something more effective and work harder each and every time to get justice, not just for my dad, not just for the missing people, but for all Lebanon.
So many families have been torn apart by this tragedy, and so many feel utterly let down by those in charge. Alex Crawford, Sky News, Beirut.